Happy Monday. I hope your weekend was great. I hope that you got an opportunity to celebrate the fathers in your life. Or if you're a dad, I hope that you got celebrated. And if not, I want to celebrate you because I'm going to tell you from experience that being a dad isn't easy, but it does have its rewards. So I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. We survived all the weather that came through Indianapolis over the weekend and actually had a really gorgeous day yesterday, which was nice. And so I got to spend some time at a neighbor's pool with the kids and hanging out and being challenged by my 11-year-old in basketball. Goodness, I don't have to clear my throat until I come on here live. So sorry about that. So I want to just tell you that I am launching this membership site on dbonnie.com. Shoot me an email at d@dbonnie.com if you're interested in being a founding member, which means that you will get the membership monthly for under $20 a month for life. And so I'm going to come on each month and bring value and teach my face off and do some Q&A and help you with your marriage issues. And if you've got an awesome marriage, we're going to help you make it great. If you got an average marriage, which I think is kind of mediocre, we're going to help you make that awesome. And so the other thing we're going to do in that is build a community with you where we have like-minded people that all want to grow, that all want to elevate their marriage, that want to ignite their marriage. So let's chat. Let's have a little come to Jesus talk this morning. Who's your priority in your life? I think we have to analyze that. And I think that we have to look at that on an ongoing basis because it's not a static thing. And so I want you to just really take a look, like, is your spouse your priority or is it your children? Is your spouse your priority or is it your friends? Or maybe it's your job instead of your spouse. Or maybe, this is common, maybe it's you that are the priority. You're like, oh, no, not me. No, I do everything for my family. I cook, I do the laundry, I go out and work, I work hard. No, I'm not the priority. And all of that very well may be true. However, what your priority is shows up in how you make the little decisions every day. I mean, let's face it, most of us go to work and bring home an income. Like, not doing that isn't an option, but that does not mean that your spouse is your priority, right? Just because you're providing, which is part of it, that doesn't mean that every day you are seeking to serve. And so I think, one of my soapboxes is we live in a very child-centric world where it's all about the children, right? It's like kids this, kids that, kids activities, kids school, and wonderful. I love kids. I have 5 boys. I love them. But when it comes to what I'm going to prioritize overall, it has to be my spouse. Because I'll tell you what, when I make Megan the priority, and the children are still important, right? It's not like we're leaving them to fend for themselves and they're latchkey kids and we're never around. But when I prioritize Megan and she prioritizes me, our children are blessed. You see, they don't have to be the center of the universe to come out great. In fact, I would challenge you that if they are the center of the universe, when they become adults, they're going to wake up to a rude situation, an environment in which they're not that important in the world. And so we have to prepare them, not by shutting them down, but by really not giving them this attitude that the entire world revolves around them. So as an example, we have the kids go to bed at 8:30 or 9 at night. And one of the things that does is it gives me and Megan, about an hour to just connect and be together. And that's a priority for us. And so last night I got some pushback from the kids of like, well, I don't know why we have to go to bed so early. And yet they wake up at 6:37 this morning, wonderfully well rested, in great moods, ready to attack the day. In fact, I talked to them about that this morning. I'm like, you see how good you feel when you go to bed early and you get all that sleep? And they're all like, yeah, we see that. So it's not like I'm doing them harm, but Megan and I want to protect our time. And so all day long yesterday, we were present with the kids. We poured into the kids. We celebrated Father's Day, which was awesome. But had the kids been the center of the universe in our household, then We would let them stay up late so that they're happy, right? We all want to make the kids happy. Guys, happiness is overrated when it comes to lack of boundaries and shifted priorities. So my ultimate goal is not to make my boys happy. I'd like for them to have joy and happiness, but that's not the pinnacle of my aspirations. I want them to grow up to be men, not little boys in men's body, but men in the world that want to go out and do good in the world. That's my priority. So I got to teach them what that looks like. And part of that is teaching them that when they have children, they need to prioritize their spouse. Now, you know my walk. I have to prioritize God even above Megan, right? So I can't ever let that vertical relationship get negatively impacted because of these, sort of lateral earthly relationships. But my point is that if you are prioritizing your friends and spending time with them and investing in them and not so much your spouse, it's going to show up in your marriage. It's going to show up in your home. So your friendships might be great. You might be like, yeah, I mean, me and my wife, like, we're not that great, but man, I got some really good friends. Well, it's because you're investing in those friends. Invest in your wife or your husband the way that you invest in your friends, and magic happens, right? Prioritize your spouse over work or over children or over hobbies. And I tell you what, if you look at those things in your life that are flourishing, it's because you're putting in the time. Like, things do not thrive abundantly when we're not focusing on them, when we're not giving them their due attention. And so if there's areas of your life that you're like, well, I'm really killing it here, it's because you're doing the stuff there. And I'm going to tell you something that might sting a little, but if no areas of your life are flourishing, I will bet you, I will almost guarantee it, that your priority is you. And I've been there, baby. I've been there. I've made myself the center of the universe, and it did not work out well. Marriages were destroyed. Relationships with family members were dissolved. And if you are not flourishing in any area of your life, you're probably focusing on you and what you want. I don't say that to be mean, but it's probably truth. And I needed to learn that in my own life. And now I want to teach that to you. So take a look at what your life looks like. Like, what do you have around you? You have peace and joy and contentment and abundance, then you're probably doing some stuff right. But if you have bitterness and strained relationships and, no one at work treats you kindly and your spouse doesn't like you and your children, if it's all in ruins, you're probably focusing on you. And I'm going to tell you, I've said this before, that the less my life is about me, the better it keeps getting. And I'm not unique to that. That's how God wired us. So listen, guys, you can do this. All of this is learnable. You can fan these embers in your relationship and ignite them and have an amazing marriage. You can have what Megan and I have found because we did the work, because we looked to God and founded our relationship on his principles. You can do this. We're not unique. We're not special. It's there for you. But you got to change the focus. So make your spouse your priority, right under God, but above you, above your kids, above your friends, above your work, right? What we invest in is what's going to flourish. I love you guys. Click the share button. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe and check out our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, Debond Ignite Your Marriage. I love you guys. I hope this is helpful. Share it with a friend. See ya. Bye.